Hey, in this video, you will see the cheapest AI personalization system available that you can use to personalize your cold emails with AI so that you can have better reply rates. And you can do that at scale and for a fraction of the price of other tools. If you're interested in building this system, you can follow along. Or if you want the system to be integrated within your business, feel free to reach out and click the first link in the description. With that said, let's get started. The first thing that I want to focus on is how AI personalization systems work on a first principle basis. There are just two components to those. First off, we get some kind of personalization data. That could be data from their website, data from their LinkedIn, data from any other source that we have available. And then what we do is we use the LLM, we use ChatGPT, Claude, or whatever the case might be to create a personalized message based on that data. So this is as simple as possible AI personalization boiled down to the components. The way this works is twofold. There's an integrated approach which combines both of these two things in a single API, for example. So it combines all of them within ChatGPT, within Claude, Perplexity even. And there's a separated approach where you do each of the steps in a separated way. Now, the integrated would be the best possible way, right? Because like that is the faster, we already have the information available, and the AI will just do the web search, and then we will extract the information, and then out of the information we will create the personalization. That is all good. The problem with that is if we have a look at the pricing over here for ChatGPT, the pricing for the models is not that bad. But if we search for the web search, we can see the actual price of how much it costs to run this kind of personalization through ChatGPT over tool like this. So over here, you can see an example of how much would you pay for 1,000 calls. We can call that 1,000 personalization if we wanted to. So you would pay $35 per 1,000 personalization, which is kind of a big number over here to pay over here. So there is the actual problem when it comes to the different integrated solution. The other approach is separated, and over here we just get the data from a website using a web scraper. So there are multiple options to that, and probably one of the best one that I found is Tavily. Tavily is capable of getting search data in a very good formatting, which is perfect for LLMs. And what you can do over here is you can also ask for a specific query within Tavily. So, for example, you could potentially ask, find me find me all the case studies that this client mentioned on his website. So this is how this tool works. There's one tool that I haven't mentioned over here within the separated solution, and this tool is called Crawl for AI. So Crawl for AI is a web scraper that is LLM friendly. So the formatting of this web scraper is perfect for ChatGPT, for Claude, for whatever. And it also has the advantage of being open source. So what we can potentially do with this is we can take this version, we can host this on a server, and in that way we don't have to pay the cost of running single APIs all the time. So this is the actual tool that we decided to use. When it comes to cost, we are comparing everything against the best tool out there, which is clay.com. Within clay.com, if you were to pay 50,000 credits, you would pay 800 per month. So if we do the division of that, we would get approximately 0.016 dollars per credit. So this is what you would pay. With this solution instead, what you are paying is you are paying the server cost to host a crawl for AI, and that would be approximately $50 per month. And then you are paying OpenAI API, and more specifically, you are paying a GPT 4.1 Nano, which is $0.003 per call. So if we are looking at the amount of email personalization that you can do, so the amount of personalized leads that you can have, for $202, you can personalize the 50,000 leads. Instead, with Clay, you spend $800. So this is one fourth of that. And then if we were to compare that with 100,000 leads, email personalization, the cost here would be 354. Instead, if we look at the data within Clay, you see over here that we have 1,500. So this is a real powerful solution. And yeah, the model that we choose is GPT 4.1 Nano, which is one of the newest model for ChatGPT, which is both good in terms of quality and also is very good in terms of cost because it has the best cost across every single model from ChatGPT. The thing about Clay is that this is a really powerful tool, and if you don't need to run as much volume as we need in this specific case, Clay is fairly good with that. But with this solution, we were able to save 4 times the amount instead of actually paying for Clay. So with that said, let me show you what is the workflow structure and how everything looks like over here. So first off, we check the lead list. We check a specific lead list for personalization opportunities. That means we check if they have been personalized before or if they have some website present within the list. If that's the case, we extract the domain and then we build the crawl for AI configuration file. And I will show you this part because this is the most important component and what makes crawl for AI an actual really powerful solution for this build over here. Finally, we call crawl for AI, and the end results that we would get is the information on 10, 15 pages of a website and pass this information directly to OpenAI so that it can create a personalization email and finally update the Google Sheet. So let me show you an actual example of the result. So if we go over here, this is a lead list example, and over here we have the different personalization that we could get. In some cases where we are not able to get the personalization, maybe because the website is blocked or we cannot have access to that, we don't have any kind of personalization like that. In other cases, the personalization is pretty specific and gives very good messages. Keep in mind, those can also be improved based on prompting and based on a lot of things like that. Now, let's see NA10 and how everything works over here. So the flow is exactly the same as the one that I showed you in the diagram. The thing that I want to show you first is the prompt from OpenAI, and then this part related to the crawler config. So this is what is needed to be put it inside the crawl for AI API call. And so what we are doing over here is first off, we are filtering the domain based on the allowed domain that we want to choose. In this way, we only pass on the specific domain that we have in this system. And then over here, those are two really, really powerful components when it comes to crawl for AI. We have a URL pattern finder. So if the system scrapes the website and finds different URLs that have this kind of patterns within, it will prioritize those over any other kind of URL. So this is very useful when it comes to finding specific things within the website itself. And then over here, we have a keyword scorer. So the keyword scorer is actually used to find specific keyword and give a specific weight to specific keywords instead of others. So if a page has more keywords related to testimonial, portfolio, case study, that will be more important compared to other pages. So this is what we are doing over here. Keep in mind if we were to do different kinds of personalization, we could change this pattern over here and these keywords over here to match the relevant personalization we would need to do, or we could potentially even make those dynamic and make the personalization completely dynamic based on the personalization play or what is asked or whatever the case might be. So that's it. What we have over here is we have a solution where if this is a success, we get an array of the markdown. So this is the LLM version of the website that is way easier to read. And then finally, we pass this over to OpenAI. And within OpenAI, we ask to be an email copywriter, writing a one-line case studies. We give them a couple of rules, a couple of examples, couple of success criteria, and that is able to give us a very, very cool personalized lines and personalized use cases. So that's it. This is the cheapest system that you can use to personalize email at scale. And if you want that integrated within your business, feel free to reach out. With that said, catch you soon in the next video.